Today I'm reviewing the Vapor Imp Tank. Hi Vapists, it's Darth Naga here again, bringing to you another episode of Full Steam Ahead. In today's episode I am reviewing the Vapor Imp Tank, which I have currently on my Asmodus Helve. It's a mouth-to-lung tank. Well, from my experience, it's a mouth-to-lung tank, or a very restricted draw lung hit tank. Let me just do a bit of both for you now. Let me do a mouth-to-lung. So it's not bad on the vapor. The flavour's pretty damn good as well. I'm quite impressed. Once the coil breaks in, which in all fairness it does take a little while to do, but once it has broken in, the flavour is fucking incredible. And that's a lung hit, a restricted lung hit. So I suppose you know, if you want to do lung hits with it you can, but they're very restricted. Make your own mind up, really. I'll tell you what, let's go to the down view straight away. I'll show you the coils, I'll show you this thing up close, and we'll come back up and talk about how it vapes. Alrighty, so let's go to the down view now. Okay, oh fucking hell. Here we go, up close and personal in the down view with the Imp, the Vapor Imp. So the Vapor Imp comes in this lovely fetching orange tube, and inside, this was rolled up in there, but no, it sort of comes wrapped around the mod in the bag, like that. So you get like a little mod wipe, tank wipe type thing, with the Vapor Imp logo on it. Inside, this natty little tube device is actually quite cool for holding tanks. It's quite solid, and there's an easy way to open it. You just go, there you go. So you pop it open. It's got a little bit of foam in the top to protect the top. That's the Vapor Imp Tank itself. You get a little pamphlet type thing, which basically tells you about the drip tip and changing the coils. I think you only get one coil inside, and it's inside the tank straight away. Let me just put that to one side. Let me read this to you because it's quite rude actually. I am Vapor the Imp. Let me show you how to use me. My traits, well, I can house up to 4 ml of your favourite juice, so it's a 4 ml tank. My 1 ohm coil works best with blah blah blah, and my 1.5 works best with blah blah blah. 10 to 20 watts, 60 to 60 watts. And my size, oh, feel me in your hand. I am 22 millimeters wide and 44 millimeters long. Want to fill me up? Place me upside down in your hand with love. Screw off my base. Lubricate my coil with just the right amount of juice onto my 100% natural organic cotton so that I'm nice and moist. Absorb any excess juice using a tissue. Don't lick your fingers yet. Go ahead and fill me up with your juice through any of my side holes into my chamber up to the rim. Close me up by screwing my base clockwise. Stop screwing when I feel tight enough. If you keep screwing me clockwise, you'll make my parts pop out and leak your juice everywhere. This is to stop my glass chamber cracking. I'm not going to read any more of it because it's not as interesting, but that bit it's just so filth, do you know what I mean? Which is brilliant. It's quite funny. It's very rare you'll see humorous instructions on how to sort the tank out. But anyway, so this is how it looks when it comes out the box. Let me get a little bit closer. This is how it looks when it comes out the box. You've got the drip tip here, which has got this natty little silicone cover on it. Yours will probably come with a spare drip tip. Mine didn't. So I don't know, whether that was missing or what. As you can see, it's a bit wet because it's still I've just been using it. So that's the drip tip there. The tank itself is very simple. It just comes apart. You've got the airflow here. It goes round. It stops. You can't push it any further. Open it all the way, and that's that. You've got a non-adjustable 510 pin in the bottom. Looks like it's brass. And that's flush as well, so it protrudes a tiny amount, but I wouldn't want to put this on a hybrid device, but it's not really built for mech mods anyway. This is a proper mouth-to-lung tank that's built more for regulator devices. So let me just unscrew it. Okay, and as you can see in here, there's your Vape Imp coil with a spit back mesh in place, and these are very simple to get off. You just unscrew the base, throw your coil away, get your brand new one, pop it on here like so. Actually, I'm going to fit a new one while I'm here because I've been using that on a different juice and I'm going to swap my juices over. So hold on 2 seconds. Okay, the coil itself, let me show you this up close. It's a little tiny coil. I might be a little bit close actually, there you go. Little tiny coil, it's 1 ohm. You can't use very thick juices with this, I've found, because they tend to be, the holes don't tend to absorb enough juice very quickly. So this is more suited to your sort of 50-50 and below really. But the whole thing's more suited to a mouth-to-lung vapor anyway. And then in the end, you've got your lovely little spit back mesh which protects it, which I must admit I've had no spit back at all with this. So that's good. Let me zoom back out. So yeah, you just literally, when you're changing your coil, the coils are available on the website, as is the tank. I'll put a link when I go back to the up view. I'll tell you where it's all from. Let me just find the right spot for this. Okay, and that's it. It's on there. It's installed. Now, the only downside, literally the only downside I've found with this tank so far, and for me it's quite a big one. I don't know whether it is possible. I've not managed to do it yet, and I have tried. I'll tell you what that problem is in a minute. Basically, this is the tank. The fill holes are nice and big. You fill it up, you whack it on. You put a bit of juice in the coil there. You fill this up. You screw them both together. You let it sit for a few minutes like you would normally, and that's it. Away you go. But as far as I can tell, there's no way to separate the tank apart. So to clean this is a pain in the bum. You've got to wash it out with water and then let it drain for a bit to actually get the thing out. Okay, so yeah, as I've said, it's you can't separate this tank from, you can't separate it down for easy cleaning. So to me, that is a massive, quite a big negative point, because you just can't take it apart. Which you would ideally want to do to be able to clean it out properly, clean your previous juice flavour out and all that sort of thing. Sure, you can rinse it out, but it's not quite the same, is it, as being able to fully strip it down. I mean, I like to put my tanks through sonic cleaner, and obviously with this particular tank, it doesn't, it doesn't always reach the whole way. So anyway, I've just primed that. I've just primed the coil. Just going to put a bit of my watermelon juice in here. Very, very straightforward, very easy to do. You just pop, even the glass tip bottles, dropper bottles, you just squeeze it in there. And that's it. Pretty much, that is it. Yeah. Cool. So I've got a tank full of juice, and you just screw the base back on like so. And the base, the coils themselves have got O-rings on to stop any sort of leaking. And I've got to say, I've had absolutely no leaking issues with this whatsoever. None. So that's it, all sorted, put together, full of juice as you can see, all nicely juiced up. So anyway, I'll tell you what, let's go up to the up view and I'll have a little vape on this on my mod and I'll tell you what I think. Alright, let's go to the up view now. Okay, here we are back in the up view with the Vapor Imp Tank. I've had no problems filling this baby up. It takes seconds. It hasn't leaked at all in the entire time I've had it, and I've been vaping on it for a few weeks since my honeymoon now. Well, over a month since my honeymoon. So yeah, I've been vaping on it for about a month, and honestly I've had no problems with it at all. Flavour takes a little while to come in. The coils, obviously it's not an RTA, it's pre-packaged coils, pre-built coils that just, I'm running this one at about 17 watts, and it's a nice warm vape. It's a 1.02 ohm coil, so it's a 1 ohm coil. And I'm running it at 17 watts, and the flavour's coming through nice. It does take a while for the coil to bed in, as I just mentioned. So you won't get that amazing flavour to start with. It'll be after, it'll be after a few number, and it's a larger number of tokes than I'm used to. I don't know whether that's the type of cotton they've used or what, but the flavour does take a little while to really kick in. But once the coil's nicely saturated, really, proper bedded in, it will taste amazing. I mean, I'm using something called What Are Melons in this at the moment, and it's a beautiful watermelon vape. And you can have it as warm or as cold as you like, really. You can turn it right down to 15 watts and it'll still fire quite nicely. But 17 watts is a sweet spot for this. Let me whack it up. They reckon the 1 ohm coils can be used up to 20 watts. So let me just fire it at 20 watts and see what happens. Yeah, pretty much the same as on 17 watts. Firing at 4.5 volts. It's nice. I can't complain about it. I am using, I believe it's 70-30 juice in here. And so far, I know I mentioned in the down view that it doesn't keep up with thick liquids, but I've been using 70-30 in this and 60-40 in it, and it's done all right. It's not. I think this is 60-40 that's in it at the moment, because you can see it's quite liquidy, quite fluid, quite thin is the word I'm looking for. So this is a 60-40 juice, and it's keeping up pretty well with it. I've had no dry hits with it at all. Let me try another lung hit, see if I can get it to dry hit on me. Nope, just flavour. And I tell you what, for me this is comparable to the Nautilus X. Now, I can't remember how much the Nautilus X is, but I know it's more than the Vapor Imp. The Vapor Imp is £15.99. £15.99. For that, you get your tank, you get your coil, and you get your drip tip obviously with it. It says on the website that you get a spare drip tip. I didn't get that in my packaging, as you saw, but yeah, it's pretty good. If you're into your flavours, I'd get one. I haven't seen the coils available on their website yet, so I don't know whether they are there and they're just tucked away or what, but they do have coils for it because I got sent a load with it. But I don't think they're available on the website just yet, but I'm sure they will be soon. So yeah, quite impressed with this. Really nice mouth to lung. The only downside is a lack of an RTA, but then if you see the size of the deck, I'm not sure you'd want to put. You've seen the size of it. I don't know if you'd want to put an RTA on it, but who knows? Maybe they might release an RTA for it. You don't get a spare glass in the deck, but the reason for that being is this tank does not come apart. The base comes off, so you can change the coil, but the actual glass tank section, all this metal and glass, comes off like a barrel and you fill it up as per normal, but it can't be stripped down for cleaning, and to me that's a massive con. It should be able to be stripped down so you can fully get it properly clean, but you can't, which is a bit of a bugger in my eyes, and it gets a minus point for that. But aside from that, it's just really good. And yeah, it's got the little Imp branding on there. I don't think it's got a serial code on it or anything like that. Let me just double check. No, it's got the standard sort of CE mark on it. Don't throw in the bin, all that sort of shit. But there's no particular serial number on it. And yeah, for what it essentially is, which is an entry level mouth to lung tank, $15.99 is a fucking bargain, considering the Nautilus X and other mouth to lung tanks are still 20-25 quid depending on where you go. I think $15.99 is a perfect price for this little device. Beautiful mouth to lung, massively restricted lung hits, but it still chucks vapour, and the flavour's really good. So, unless I haven't mentioned before, you can get it from thevaporstore.co.uk or .com. I can't remember which off the top of my head, but it will be across there. It's just here. This is the website, so it'll be across there, and you can pick it up from them for $15.99. And if you're a mouth to lung vapor and you're not ready to build your own coils yet or anything like that, I can highly recommend this for only 16 quid. So yeah, I mean, you can see for yourself. See, the coils that you can get for it come in 1 ohm or 1.5 ohm, and yeah, I've got no bad things apart from the fact you can't strip it down. Apart from that, it's really well built. The machining's good on it. There was no taste of fucking machine oil or anything like that, and it's just a really nice little tank at a really good bargain price. Kicks, I like it very, very much. So that is the Vapor Imp from Vapor Store. What else is there with it? No, that's it. So yeah, from vaporstore.co.uk. Again, I'll put it across the top there, just so you know where to get it. And it's only $15.99. And I've said that so many times now, I'm fucking just going to think my name's $15.99. Alright, so yeah, go grab one, and you know, chuck a comment below if you've already got one and tell me what you think of it. Otherwise, go and grab one, then come back and tell me what you think of it once you've started vaping on it. And that's it, really. Just let everyone know that I did actually receive this tank for free for purposes of this review, but I've been brutally honest about it, especially the glass, which is just, I can't fathom. Hopefully they'll fix that in a V2 version of it. And other than that, all I can ask you to do is like, share and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button wherever that is. I think it's up there somewhere. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. Really trying to spread the word and try and get my vape reviews out there. And just try and help all the vendors, really, who've got all these nice tanks coming out and juices and things like that. So that's it. If I look a bit washed out, it's because I'm trying a new lighting technique with some really strong halogen lights. But, you know, it's better than having it all dark and just being able to see the screen. So I don't mind being a little bit orange. Right, okay, that's all I've got to say about the Vapor Imp. Until next time, my little vapists, toot toot motherfuckers, toot toot.